Monday morning perpetual scam brought to you by TRADERCOBB and teaming up with FTX on this one. If you haven't got your FTX account, you can click the description below and you'll see 10% off your trading fees, which means more money in your pocket. So go ahead and open that account. All right, if you do watch this and you like it, please do like, please do share, please do subscribe, and please turn those notifications on because it helps out big time. And also, if you have any questions, just shoot them through in the chat function and I will take you through what I am seeing on this. Well, here, gee whiz, it is raining cats and dogs. It is very, very, very wet here in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, and I think all of Sydney. If you are in flood affected areas, I feel for you. I hope you're safe, I hope you're well, and that you're looking after yourself, because I know it must be a lot of places here, especially in Australia on the east coast, are having a hard time of it at the moment. So I hope that everyone is kind out there, because it is tough for a lot of people. Anyway, let's have a look today. What do we got? Well, we're up 1.8%. But here's the thing, right? Check this out. Look at how big that candle looks. Like, look how positive it looks, because we haven't seen much activity in quite a while to the upside. Obviously, this big spike here was a big rejection of the lows. This one is just a bit of a buy candle the last 3 days, just chipping away at gains to Bitcoin. But again, the daily is not telling me a great deal at the moment. We don't have trend, we don't have cyclicity, we don't got much at all. However, if we do close at current prices, we will be up this week 1.5%. So again, you can see just how little volatility we've actually seen in Bitcoin this week again as well. We're looking at about 5% or just a wee bit more of total movement inside of 7 days. As we know in Bitcoin, that is very, very small. So will we close positive this week? It looks likely at this stage, but maybe it will turn. We can see big spikes in the market, no doubt. What I noticed when I did a bit of a look through this morning is that a lot of these trends, the 4-hour downtrends, which were pretty good last week, there were some good profitable trades to be had to the downside. They've now, a lot of those trends have reversed. So what I'll be looking at here is really the lower time frames, okay? I'm going to have the daily down here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the 4-hour down here, and I'm going to have the 1 hour up here, and I'm looking for decent cyclicity, decent trend to try and find myself the optimal trends for cradle trades. Right, so let's get into it and see what we end up with. 1 inch, what's that up there? Not really enough to work with. AVE. Now this thing's really been moving quite nicely, hasn't it? Significant moves. So that's our 4-hour, which it's got a bit of momentum. Let's just check this one and go lower, I think. Straight to the 15 here. There's not a great deal of cyclicity there. It's kind of moving pretty hard at the moment, so I'm going to go past it. Cardano, on the other hand, look, there's not really a higher low here because we went higher, low, high, and back down here. Just a recap for anyone that may be in that breakout. Stop more than likely would be here unless you were pretty quick and you got it in there, but that wasn't really 2 candles moving to lows, so your stop might still be there. Big profits with a stop loss up here, breakout entry. That's why you need to have the breakout strategy, not just the cradle as well. But coming back to that, I'll put that back on the 4. Okay, Bobby. Coming back to Cardano, this is one of the charts that I do like. Look, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's open and available possibly on the 30. Let's check the 1 hour. It's not the greatest trend on the 1 hour, got to be honest. The 30 looks better, so therefore it opens the door potentially for the 15, possibly the 30. There is a little pullback here, so it does. Actually, there's one there. What's the low? 34.9, 34.92. Yeah, it is slightly lower. But the reason I say, if I'm looking at the lows, is that if there's 2 candles that pull back, if it breaks the other one, like it breaks the low of this candle, I consider that to be a potential point for a higher low. So it is open, only just, but it is open there for the half hour. I do like it. So I'm going to put this into a, we'll go a yellowy trend. Okay, so the first is in. It is Cardano with convergence, looking quite nice there indeed. Adventure goal, let's go past that. We're looking for good, strong trends here. On the lowers is where we're going to be focusing our attention. So looking for those 1 hour trends, and potentially I'd like to see it match up on the 4. That'd be a bonus. Alpha a little bit thin, not the greatest structure there on that. I'm going to move past it. Alt Perps had a really strong 3 days. Can we find anything perhaps here? The 15 maybe. look, I'll pop it in. I suspect that we're going to have a lot of trends, and I might be farming some of these out at the end of this watch list, just to see if I, try and find the better looking trends out there. I can leave alone Ape. R-Weave the same, not enough cyclicity there on the 4 to warrant trading that either. Atlas a bit messy. Atom, a good strong move there by Atom. Excuse me. Again, but since this since this higher low, we've just gone straight up. I'm looking for a bit more of that bouncing ball. That's the sort of thing I'm looking to trade. AVAX, we'll have a quick look here, but I don't think so. Not at this stage on the 30. The 15 could come in with the cradle up here, so I'll throw that in as well. That's an option. It's going to be the lower time frames though, because these trends are fresh. They are new. They've only just started to move higher. So with that being the case, we are going to have to focus on those lower time frames if we are to find the opportunities that we're after. I'm going to leave BAT behind. Not quite enough trend there. Let's go down lower here on Bitcoin Cash. No, not overly keen there either. Binance. Good 3 days there too. It's been a pretty positive little run there on Binance. Have we got anything to work with there? Maybe the 15? Indeed. If it pulls back into there, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if we can get this done before, this scan done before those have pulled back or taken themselves out of the game. Leaving BSV, BitTorrent too thin. C98 starting to carry its way through, but again, there's not a great trend there. I'll leave that one behind. Cake. See these little spotty things, these little dots? It just shows to me that it's quite thinly traded at the moment, and I'm not interested in thinly traded markets. It just adds more risk with that slippage factor, Chromium, there's a little lower. If I'm going to be trading these lowers, I just want to see it absolutely perfect, really, and I'm not seeing that here. It's not far off, but as you can see, there's not really much 1 hour trend there. I'll probably leave that alone and look for, if I'm going to trade them, I'd probably look for the higher liquidity markets at the moment. CRV with a big push higher. Again, no trend on the 1 hour, so nothing to work with. Civic can be left behind, so too can Convex, a little bit funky on the chart structure there. Dash looks pretty much the same. It's had a nice pullback. It needs to push itself higher, so we've got a decent push from this high to this high. And then, if we do see that, then we can look at pullbacks, but for now, it's not going to make the list. DeFi, just a straight move, straight up in the air. That comes out of any potential lists for now. Dent the same. Dodo straight line moves. Doge. What did it do here on the 15? Yeah, not looking great in the 15. The 30 looked a little bit better, but it's not going to nestle in there quite well enough, so I'm going to go past it. Same with DOT, to be fair. Again, that's a straight line there on DYDX. Eden. Yeah, it carries momentum, but look, there's so little volatility. Such small liquidity. It's just not tradable, unfortunately. That's a pretty nice looking trend there on Elron. We got a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. A pullback in on the 1 hour would certainly be fine. The 30 is also an option there as well. Would the 1 hour work with the 2? Yes, there's a trend there in the moving averages and they're in the correct order. So Elron, yeah, that's a pretty nice one, that one. Got to be honest, it looks pretty tasty. Engine can come out for now. Quick look at the 30. No, not good enough. ENS. No, not enough structure there in the chart. EOS can be left. Ethereum Classic can be left. ETH having a pretty strong push there. Let's go lower and see. Very hard and fast. Not the cyclicity that I'm really looking for here. It's not terrible, but there's not really a little tiny pullback here. This is just going sideways. So I am looking for a little bit more of that bouncing ball from Ethereum. The one thing that I can say here, however, though, is that we've got a high low here, another high low here, higher high. The 4 hour, potentially, if it slowly comes back in somewhere into this region here where there's an old resistance region, something like that, it would need to sustain these levels and then slowly pull back in to get these moving averages in the correct order. But something like that, so it's not going to go into my list right now, But I am going to reference point that resistance level there because that could feature later on today or possibly tonight. Exchange purple on the one. There is a trend there. Ooh. Ah. Okay. It's only the 30-minute that would tempt me here. And it's kind of pushing above at the moment, so I'm gonna eliminate that from going into a list. File. Oh, bloomin' 9 o'clock. That's a shame. Because that's, look, just so you're aware, the reason I'm carrying on like a pork chop is that's the candle. That's the trade. This is a trend. Beautiful pullback. Really good move. Clean pullback in. Bullish candle in the cradle zone. There it is. That's the trade. That's the setup. Bam. You've got your 1-to-1 very, very quickly. Sadly, it's already gone, and I'm not looking for another one at this stage unless it is to push its way through for decent higher highs. What a shame that is, because that's exactly what I'm looking for during this scan, is little trends that look very, very nice, just like what we just saw there on file. FTT pulling back some gains over the last 12 hours here. We'll keep moving. Looking for trends. I'm focusing more up here on this half-hour chart to see if we get some cyclicity that's worthwhile. Bugger, that file was just such a sweet-looking chart. We need some liquidity in these pairs as well. Right, what do we got here on Horby? I did have a resistance level mark through here over the weekend when it broke out. Look, I didn't raise the order on it, but I'm going to see now what's the 8 look like. Too big for one, and look, it's not very convergent. It's got to be, in my view, abandoned for the time being. Looking at this 30, if we do start to see this trend get that cyclicity later on, perhaps could be a good option there for Horby. Ooh. The 15, I'm not sure how much liquidity is here. It doesn't look too bad, actually. Look, here's another little trend that's been moving along all right. Pull back in, bullish candle, really good move. The problem is this candle here at current stage is too large for me. But, is there a but there? Because don't forget, if this closes like that, if the next candle comes back down, that's okay. Actually, I'm going to put that in because there is the potential for a little bullish candle down in here. So let's keep, and this is the sort of day where you will be probably doing a few scans, as they are lower time frames, and lower time frames can evolve really, really quickly. Oh, Bobby, you caught a 8:30 cradle on near perp this morning. Tiny, tiny candle, little level, loving life. Did you get, I haven't got to near just yet, but I'm sure I'll see it in a second. Profit, Carver, bouncing along quite nicely, but again, I'm looking for it to do a little bit more. Kyber network, that's going to come out. There's not enough information. Oh, sorry, not enough trend there for me. Same with Kilo. Kusama the same. Come on, give me some liquidity here, please. This is bouncing along all right, but it's Leo. It's very thinly traded. It's a bit erratic. I'm not going to touch it. Link. 4-to-1. Bloody hell. Good work, Bobby. From 8:30 till what? 10:30. 4-to-1. You've been trading very well, my friend. I am very happy for you. You've put the work in. Bloody stoked for you. Ooh. Litecoin. We'll check that out. Higher low on the 4, really strong push up. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. The 4 does look like the time frame at this stage. I'm going to have to put that in, and it's going to be quite a while for it to get back, but I got some travel to do today, so by the time I get to my destination, we might have actually pulled back in. I like that for a 4-hour cradle if it is to pull into that area. The 8-hour does have a higher low. We've pushed through a resistance region. It's a very strong move. I'm more than happy to have that. Yeah, mate, but you've done well. I mean, you've got the position, you got your 1-to-1, and you got, whoa, you got options. Holy crowley. That's a solid move. Daily uptrend now on Matic. I don't think there's going to be anything here for us because it's kind of just rocketed off this morning. Look, it's a little bit excited for the time being. I'll let that thing calm down. It'd be nice to see some options come into it later on. Oh, hang on. If I go to the 2-hour here, That's a damn nice trend. Look, lower high, low, lower high, low, lower high, boom, 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 boom. Little bearish candle in here. Let me just double check that 4 hour matches it. Yeah, there's a couple of little lower highs. That's a short potential. Sorry, there is a potential short option there. On the 2, we're back in the right spot. We'll wait and see how that closes. Sorry, the next candle or the next candle after that. So that's short, the first of the short potentials in the mix. Metal's a mess. That's not got enough liquidity for me just yet. Although on a good run, there's not enough liquidity on those lowers. You must be talking the 15 down over here. Yeah, okay, little pull back in, small candle. Very nice move. You've got a stop option now, Bobby. You could probably get it up in here with that being a potential high or low. Little just, I mean, either way, well done. That's the trade. And it just goes to show, you know, trade these lower time frames, doesn't take long. Just be aware of fees as well. So you might want to have your one-to-one extended a little bit further to capture those fees. Of course, we do have the trade calculator, which helps with that. So for those of you that are in the Discord group, and if you're not, there's a free one there. So again, link below. Get yourself in there. Give us a like and whatnot, please, if you don't mind you're watching this. But yeah, there's a trade calculator in there. So go get stuck into that. Helps you with all the fees and everything. Makes it a bit easier to manage. OPP. Look, there's a trend there. There's no doubt. And if it slowly comes back into here, that could be worthwhile. It's just quite extended at the moment. Nothing there that I really am interested in, I've got to be honest. I'm going to move past OPP for now. Possibly later in the day. A lot of this is a mess. A lot of this is a mess. Even on the lowers, some of these. We're just looking for those markets that do have that momentum carrying through. Like Qtum here. What's that got? We go low to high. So doesn't cut the mustard there, I'm afraid. Oh, hang on. I'm looking at this for a potential short. But the problem is that there really isn't much of a downtrend there on that 4 hour. It's just straight down. Look at that. It's just sort of gone straight. Maybe some little options through on the lowers, like here, potentially. We're not really Yeah, no, there's not really much there. I'm going to leave Ray right now. There's no 4 hour downtrend. It was just a grind to the downside. Ron, not enough liquidity. Again, as we work these lower time frames, the chart structure becomes even more crucial. We need to make sure that we've got enough liquidity to trade those lower time frames so we can avoid any of that slippage. And if you don't know what all that means, there's a free course on the website, guys. Go get it. It'll help you out with all that understanding. Solana. Again, not enough there just yet, Solana. Look, the best thing that we could see from this point out, I would have to say, given that these lower time frames are starting to get this trend on the lowers, is for more upside today. But nice, you know, not just we're up 5% in like 3 candles. I want to see not this. I don't want to see it like this. Shoof. I want to see nice bouncing ball cyclicity on our lowers. Look, if it does take off like that, okay. But it's not going to be as tradable as something like this. See? Nice high or low. Pull back in again. Nice move there. That's the sort of thing that I'm looking for. Not so much interested on the 15 on Theta. Check that one out. Look, I'll pop it in, but it would need to be slow coming in. So I'd rather see the cradle somewhere like here. I don't want to see it pull in too deep or too fast. Excuse me. Uniperp, not enough with it just yet. Uniswap, very thin on the lower, so I wouldn't trade it there. The 4 hours got a trend, perhaps later on, but not really of interest to me just yet. Oh, excuse me. That water went down the wrong hole. NEM. Again, quite a thinly traded market here. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. Whilst there is a trend there, it's not really what I'm after. Again, I'm looking for that really nice bouncing ball, like what we saw on FilePerp. A lot of this market Needs to keep moving. Tezos here, this is what I'm after. Higher low, higher high, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. That's the half hour. We go to the 1 hour. We can see that there is a higher low here, a little consolidation. It's workable on the 30. If this were to come down and consolidate into here, I'm open to that. That's for sure. Whether I can trade it or not will depend on if I'm in the air or if I am at my destination. But that's going in the list. As far as the 4 hour goes, that doesn't interest me. Not quite what I'm after. Not enough trend there on the 30 to warrant going to the 15 there. If ZRX can put a higher low in here and then push on, that could come into being something I would be interested in, and we are back to Bitcoin. So let's have a look at what we've got in the list, because it's not small. Bitcoin, not so much. A lot of this is the lower time frames. That's where we're sort of going to be focused. Why is XRP in there? It might have been in there from a while ago, because... yeah, it must have been in there from a while ago, because I don't like that at all. Matic, as I say, it's had a very strong run, all right? It's worthwhile keeping an eye on. There is a trend here on the 30-minute. Of course, if it, I'm not really that interested here on the 30. It looks as though more interesting to me on this 4 hour. But I've got to say, I mean, that's just moved so far now. It's got too much. Yeah, look, I'm going to take that out. I have to wait too long for anything to come about there. Cardano, let's go back to our 30-minute here, because we do have a nice trend coming through. A little pullback into here may open up opportunities. We're looking at cradles on the 30. If you know what boosters are, then go ahead and draw in your fibs. Same here when we look at AltPerp. A pullback into the cradle here on the lower time frame, like the 15, could be good for later, or not too far away at all. AVAX as well, that 30-minute, there is a trend there, a little pullback into there. They're all pretty much the same setups, guys. We are looking to see if we can get some little cradles on the 15 and the 30. Now, of course, reducing your risk is probably not a bad idea there, because a tight stop loss can mean, it will mean a larger position. So you don't necessarily need to have a full % risk on there, and you don't want to, put your neck out there too far, especially if you're new. On to Elrond. This has been trending nicely. Pullback move, pullback move. Just waiting to see if we can get a little bullish candle in here with a clean pullback. ICX is the same. Looking to replicate that, really. We spoke of this candle currently getting a little bit too big, but if this one comes down into here and then the next candle's small and bullish, that'd fit. It would be okay, no problem. On to Litecoin next, we see a bit of a trend starting to kick on there. I think it was back at the 4 that I liked that. Yeah, it is. This higher low is really steady and really nice. Good move. If it has a nice steady pullback in, kind of like this, but the opposite way, clean pullback into the cradle, small bearish candle, and there's a little move. I want to see this pull back slowly into the cradle zone. Bullish candle. If the earliest that's going to happen realistically will probably be at some stage tonight, but we'll wait and see. Maker, we drop down to the 2 hour here, and if we get a bearish candle around this sort of 980 region, that could be a good idea for a short. Most of what we're seeing at the moment is lower time frames long. This maker position, or this maker chart, is more suitable for the downtrend, so therefore short. I'll be keeping an eye on that. How's that look on the daily, just quickly? Yeah, okay, it doesn't take anything away from it. On to Theta next, which is climbing out. We'll go back to our 1 to see our trend, higher low, higher low. Then we'll drop to our 30, and you can see if we were to replicate this little bullish candle over here, I'm down. And finally, Tezos. Really nice trend, probably one of the better ones, actually. If it slowly pulls into, I'd love it at these old highs, little bullish candle somewhere in here, then that could also be an option. So really, to kick the day off, ladies and gentlemen, the FTX Perpetual Scan brought to you by TRADERCOBB is about mostly the lower time frames and going long. Will we see this market progress to the upside throughout this week? I got no idea, mate. But I tell you what, I will be following trends, and I'm not scared of getting down on these lower time frames, because as we saw with Bobby this morning, already hit a 4-to-1 target, and the day has only just begun. You have yourself a brilliant day, and like I said, if you haven't got your 10% off your FTX trading, click in the description below and go ahead and get a hold of that, because it's more money in your pocket. If you haven't joined our Discord, you should be, and if you would like to get this course absolutely free, go to TRADERCOBB.com and join the Become a Trader course is the free one. Have a great day, guys. Let's see how this week goes. I'll be with you throughout the week in the Discord group. Cheers. Bye for now.